All right, guys, welcome back to Fistful of Darkness, episode 5. Woo!
Yeah. Moving on up.
Nobody else is excited, I see.
I
All
can't
right,
wait
a
for
2 week break was way too much for you guys. Gotta get you right back into it.
I was focused on eating without making a noise. It's very difficult. You're not supposed to eat while you're on stream. However,
I mean, I think you've been eating every week, so
Monroe don't follow the rules.
yeah.
Yes, Monroe doesn't. He's the reason why I drink and yeah, it's fine. But yeah, guys, welcome back. I am Mistletoe Kiss. I'm going to be GMing this lovely session of Fistful of Darkness for you guys today. And starting back where we were last time, our lovely posse had just finished harvesting larvae and pupae from a underground hornet's nest deep within the earth.
Oh, that word
Nero.
pupae.
Nero had a link with the queen herself, being welcomed in as a child by a mother. Monroe, discovering that he somehow had left something here previously, though he doesn't remember ever coming here before, goes into the birthing pool and dives deep to grab some supposed precious cargo. Ezra having a mental breakdown after trying to protect so many and realizing that he had failed his brother so long ago and just reliving that moment to the point to where he's like, I'm out, and goes and sits in the train. Meanwhile, Kona tries her best to go ahead and help with the pupae moving. The crew, or our posse, trying to keep them safe from the undead being awakened within the chamber. And not exactly sure what's going on, with everyone seeming to have a mental moment but her. You guys have climbed back onto the train. The buzzing of hornets suddenly now ringing in your ears, the vibrations against the sides of the train carriages. Several dents and dings being pushed into the carriages as they try to attack whatever has stolen their siblings. The chief at this moment goes ahead and signals to one of the tribe's people who rushes back into one of the back carriages with several others. And you hear the train decouple. Most of the carriages being brought back to the tribe. The birds themselves, the mechanical ravens being driven by the Hellstone, walking and pulling those carriages back towards the tribe. Precious cargo in tow, while the main locomotive and the first 2 carriages are ready to continue on this journey.
I'm covering. I'm going to be trying to cover the others so they can make their escape. I think they've got the babies we need, right?
It seems like most of the tribe's people have gone on with the section going back to the tribe. So now you are left with the shaman chief and probably like 4 others that have stayed with him, the locomotive, and the first 2 carriages.
Yeah. Kona's just like, get gone, boys! Right? Like,
Yeah, Nero is like quite traumatized from all of the things that happened to them. I think they're probably just sitting in a corner, not even really noticing what is going on, wondering whether, well, maybe like trying to figure out whether like there's a presence following the train out, but not even in like a, oh, I'm looking kind of way, but in like a, I'm terrified that like something could happen and something could go wrong kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Monroe is definitely riding with the shaman and the inner circle, and I'll protect you, he says, but he's really kind of just sitting there and holding himself, rocking.
Makes sense. I think maybe our outlaw is doing similarly to what our sheriff is doing, right? So that's probably what I'm trying to support is both of your actions as well as maybe like trying to make an opportunity. You know, if there needs to be like a role, I want to try to do some kind of action to open up an opportunity for Nero, I guess, to make sure everything's cool, or for the other two to take shots and like get us out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're having a somewhat of a technical difficulty, but we're working through it the best we can, folks. Thanks for holding tight.
Having two boys in the same house doesn't help. Sorry.
No, yeah. So just so I get a clearer picture. So what Kona is trying to do now is figure out what is coming towards us, so that we can better gauge what the threat is, right? And like most of the train is actually decoupled and left. It's just the two carriages that were at the front of the train that kind of remain where we are.
Well, what stops Kona from just shooting at the threat? That's what I want to know. That I could just go for it.
Nothing really, but do you want to open that side door and expose yourself in the lovely, soft insides of the train to shoot at the hornets?
I think Kona was on the roof the entire time.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to say she's the crazy one that's on the side when the train takes off, right? And then she's just like climbing up to the top to get a good angle, you know, and shoot back at them. Maybe,
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe narrowly dodging like spiky stone things inside the cave system.
As the train begins to shift and move, all of the legs underneath the carriages coming out, the train carriage shifting. As the train begins to go back into another tunnel, Kona just reaching to the top of the train and standing on top, where you come face to face with a very large drone.
Okay. Then
angrily, and it has repeatedly thrust its abdomen and seen her, and it's like a really big dent that it's making. It probably a few more hits and whatnot it would break through the alloy that shields the carriage below, but this thing is angry. What do you do?
I think that's probably where she sticks her pistol like in its like pinch your face or whatever, you know, and she tries to like just jam it in there as good as she can and like shoot out its eye.
Go for it. How would Kona go about doing this?
It's like she's fighting, like she's trying to like push herself physically in there, I guess, as best she can. So let me see here. My actions available to me. This thing's like hunt. That's one of the things I'm kind of doing, but I might be like kind of brawling with it in this case, though. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm trying to brawl with it because I can see it. It's not like I'm hunting it down so much. I'm trying to get myself in between it, so that way it doesn't get to the carriage and stuff, get to the opening,
Right.
or even have a chance to open anything. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm brawling. I'm gonna push, I think, because I've got the grit, and I'll need the die because I'm at 0 dice with this.
I have a devil's bargain for you.
Ooh, oh, I don't know if I'll want it in this case, but go ahead. What do you got?
You can hear it talking to you, and it says you are no sister.
Oh,
You are a
shit.
betrayer.
I'm no sister, huh? I mean, that seems fine, right? It's fine.
I want to know, like, whatever it's saying, would Nero also be able to, like, kind of hear it?
Don't do it. Just kill it. Just shoot it.
There's like the little devil on her shoulder that's like, yeah, dude, you hear that? And then there's the other one that's just like, ah, don't shoot, just shoot it, that comes barreling into her perception, whereas she's like, she snaps out of it. I think she was gonna think about it, but no, she's just gonna just spend the
I'm
grit.
going to set the scene for everyone else. Kona is the only one outside the locomotive at this point. You do hear some
That's
other
fine.
humming, but most of it seems to have moved on when the decoupling of the carriage has happened. So you're guessing that the tribespeople are going to try to lose most of them within the tunnels itself. And they have all of the backup in regards of the fighting ravens, the mechanical birds to help. So there's only seems to be about a few of them still left with the main locomotive here. This one definitely, Kona is outside battling it.
Right, I'm exposed. If anything goes wrong, I might fall off a train, basically.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, but this will do the most.
So are you? Is Kona hanging out of the train, or did she
On top?
Yeah, I'm kind of like,
She's
I'm kind of like
the
on
whole
the corner.
Indiana Jones
Yeah,
out on top of the train thing as
Right.
the train literally is moving and going through tunnels as it starts to go through tunnels.
right. It's lurching around. Right, I'm like trying to get a good shot, and then like I just like start to clamber over the edge and like shove my pistol into its like pincher mouth or whatever. Hopefully, it's not ready to smash me. I've got one die on this, so.
Oh, can anybody assist? I've only got 2 grit left. So I guess I could, but if anyone else is more able, that might be good.
Yeah, Ezra was thinking about an assist too, but so.
I want to know
would be
what would be fun. That would be fun to know what you're doing to assist, and maybe you're like also like nearby, like helping somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be much easier if you're just hanging out of the train. So I just grab you and hold you in case you're losing your balance. So maybe he's just start to climb out of the tree of the train to yeah.
I mean, Ezra spent a lot of time in the Burning Beyond. He very likely could, with his tracking knowledge, be able to know exactly where the Hornet is above and be able to shoot and injure it or distract it somehow from Kona's shot.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like steadying me is cool, but like also just taking pot shots at it while it's coming, while it's approaching.
Yeah, more pushing it to one side so you have a better attack angle on it. So just hanging out of the train with and shooting at not the thing itself, but more on one side and making it move to the other side. Yeah. So I'm happy to assist with that.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, get in on this train action.
I would say the position and effect for this, Kona, for your role.
I already put his desperate, but I was just guessing.
Yeah, it's going to be desperate limited to start. Simply based, you're on the outside of a moving locomotive. This giant hornet is there. You know, the train is moving in and out of these tunnels. However, Ezra being able to set up and give you an assist with that shot gives you standard effect.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So, let's see. So
And then whatever you have to influence that roll as well.
Well, so
Well, something like quality weapons, maybe.
yeah. So like you see her pull out her like this new pistol, right? Like a pistol is on her list, but she's got a better one than last time. She has a different one from last one. I think before she had the partially water damaged, like Smith, but now she's got this one that's like got silvered chambers. You can see they're like polished chambers, and she pulls it out, and it's already loaded with better. You can see like fresh bullets in it. And yeah, this is different from the pistol she had before when she talked to the shaman. And yeah,
this isn't the one that killed her brother.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that one might be like a story item, but she could use it, and if she uses it, she means business kind of thing. Maybe she might use that for against a human target or something, right? So
with quality items, your effect is going to go ahead and go up to great effect at that point.
Oh, yeah, you didn't factor that in yet. Okay, so I'll change that in here. And so I've got 2 bonus dice because I've got one from Stefan and one from pushing.
Go for it.
All right, so brawl, desperate, great, 2 dice. Whoop! That is a 6.
6.
Nice.
Okay.
You shoot it exactly where you want.
Okay.
And for everyone inside the carriage, you hear this shot ring out above the din of the engine as it begins to really start to move and shift and begin to gain momentum, especially without all of the extra weight of the extra carriages. It really begins to churn, and you hear the shot ring out, and then you hear a thud and a sliding off as this multi-legged mass kind of falls off the top of the carriage.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm like, get from around here, devil spawn, and then I deliver the blow and look down at Ezra and kind of like, give like a cheerful grin, like she's enjoying the heat of killing something that was trying to get us.
You'll notice that the other 2 hornets, as the train moves down into the tunnel, stay with their fallen sister.
Interesting.
Did that death feel like anything to Nero?
You feel a stab almost in your heart.
Oh no.
As something happens.
Mm-hmm.
Eek.
And you hear the crying sadness of your sisters.
Why did I ask, really? I should have just kept my mouth shut. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's,
I was going to tell you anyway, but thank you.
Yeah, no. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. In fact, yeah, I think we see kind of Nero, as this happens, they're probably maybe looking at their hands, and you see the camera kind of see them turn their hands around, and their skin now kind of resembles the skin of the hornets, right? And they now look more like the Hornet Queen. And that's not just superficial, clearly, because one of my siblings has just been brutally murdered by one of my tribe.
Yeah,
And I can feel it deep in my soul.
Yeah, this is the thing. Kona has no concern for that. She doesn't realize that you've got like the voice of that in your head. So she's just like, she actually probably like looks down and thinks about you, and she's just like, yeah, let's protect Nero, right? Like she's thinking about you as she's like out there like blasting this thing in the jowls.
Yeah.
But then I think she like kind of like she might sense like something might be off. She looks around like curiously, like kind of like she's like as if there's like a danger directly above her, right? She's like, oh, suddenly aware of all the like, whirring by of like sharp objects and things, and she gets real low. Yeah, like defensive posture or something. So she's looking for a sign that something's wrong, and she looks to Ezra like fearfully.
Yeah. I think Ezra is doing the same thing, like looking around for potential trouble, and he sees that the giant hornets are falling back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he wants to dig to sense a little bit deeper, to try to figure out if there are something out there threatening us. So looking around, doing a survey maybe, and trying to find out maybe what the next potential threat is, or real threat is here.
Of course, go for it. I would say at this point, you're at a risky standard.
Okay, 1 die should be enough.
Sounds like there's something we might miss here. I mean, I think if it's an action, then Kona is definitely looking around as well. So I'll probably throw in behind you as well with a die. I've got my own dice for survey.
Can I assist as
So
well?
maybe a team action with me in the lead.
I have a devil's bargain for you, Ezra.
Okay.
You hear the Black Rider, or is it your brother? Just probably Paul. As he kind of directs your eye, not where the train has come from, but where the train is going.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Was asking for this anyway, so yeah, take this one. So it was, sorry, I forgot risky standard, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I go for 1 bonus die from the devil's bargain.
And you guys wanted to go ahead and make this a group action?
Yeah.
Well,
I think so. Okay.
Yeah, I'll throw in as well for the risky standard. I would push myself unless you have a bargain for her. That's not the becoming agent of the bugs.
Okay, so okay, I submit.
Devil's bargain for you, Kona.
Like I'll leap over the corner of the train or something and like hit my leg if I have to like see a threat. I don't know. I'll do something. What you think is cool.
Devil's bargain here is that there was no satisfaction in that shot. Like, yeah, you won, but like it doesn't. The gun smoke doesn't smell the same. There's something missing. What are you missing? Is it because you didn't use the pistol? There just doesn't seem to be that much satisfaction in this one.
Oh, if I use the ghost gun, I get the bonus die. Whatever the gun of my brother gun. If I use brother gun, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like you used your other pistol. It just doesn't have the same.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
Yeah, if like I like the idea that using the gun is like a bad idea because, yeah, it just opens me up to something really bad possibly happening. Like, my eyes might flash white, and I, start acting like the killer of my brother or something. Something crazy like that. Yeah, I'm into it if that's the kind of thing we're talking about. Like,
You almost hear suckers.
Yeah,
But then it's gone.
she probably wouldn't be too concerned about that. She'd probably just go, like, she's in, like, I think what we see is we see her inhale some of that gun smoke from the first, like, the new pistol, and then she holsters it, and her nose twitches a little bit, and then she grabs for, like, the inside of her vest, and inside of this, like, black vest that she clearly scavenged off someone who's not of her kind, she pulls out the other pistol, which has, like, obvious, like, metal tarnishing and things like that. And there's even, like, still a spot of blood on the holster, and she, like, her thumb goes right over it as she begins to take aim with that pistol instead. And I think the blood starts to, like, seep into her skin or boil a little bit. We see it, like, smoke before she even fires it. It's like something weird to let us know that something may be going badly if this doesn't work out. But yeah, I'll do that for the bonus die.
As that kind of flakes off, kind of just from a camera angle, the blood flakes as Kona's hand reaches past it in the wind, kind of flakes off, but it almost seems tendril-like as it tries to grasp Kona's skin as it flutters away.
Okay.
Make your roll, folks. Let's go.
All right. I got a 4.
Okay.
That helps.
Yeah.
Wait, oh, is that your roll before? Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you needed that.
Is Monroe taking action in this team roll?
So probably not, because I think what Monroe is doing is, as the train becomes uncoupled and the gunfire fires outside, he just, like, kind of screams and he's like, "Ah!" and maybe, like, shoots the roof or something. But he's just super rattled at this point. And I was gonna say that maybe the scream is like a +1 assist to Ezra because he's like this coward. But if it's a group action,
Coward shout. Yeah. Saddle cheer. I mean, coward shout. Go.
You mean I'm better at noticing things when I'm shouted at? Oh, just like my older brother also.
Yeah.
You've got so many voices like aiding you right now.
Yeah, I did my role already, so maybe this was not that great a help.
Oh, well, I didn't give you an assist.
I like it.
It happens anyway, but there's no effect because it's a cowardly action. I love it.
I mean, yeah.
Nero,
Yeah, sorry, go on.
what are you doing? Are you
I think
assisting in this, or
I think if I hear Monroe squeal, I think Nero is going to be momentarily distracted. And has Monroe noticed that they are now, like, mildly hornet-like in appearance?
I think at this moment, after he shoots, he turns and he looks at you and he just, like, does a double take. And he's just like, yeah. I think they will look at Monroe and say, I think they will say, they are my siblings, my sisters.
It's never good.
Kona just killed one of them. They can't kill. And I think they're, like, really kind of having quite a hard time now because they have to reconcile this. So you can definitely see they are not in a good place. And I think yeah, they're just gonna kind of like rock back and forth and go, "We can't kill them. They can't kill us. We can't kill them. They can't kill us."
Yeah. Monroe is going to shuffle backwards and stumble back in the car and just be like and try to keep distance away from Nero, who apparently now looks like a bug, like a hornet. So.
I mean, like, yeah, I thought you might go and like try and comfort them, but this is also
Oh,
He's
that's
a coward, remember?
this is true. He is a coward. Yep.
oh.
All right.
So maybe that's
I
why
would
we
say-
don't notice, right? We partially don't notice a thing. That's what we were rolling for, was to notice the danger.
Yeah, but we had a 4 in the team action,
So we do it, but something bad happens, right?
Yeah.
Ooh. Or we partially do it, something like that.
So
Ezra,
I wanted to ask the big question here. What's most dangerous? I think
Yeah,
it's
me too.
the obvious choice here.
That's what I was trying to figure out. What was most dangerous, or what could we do to stop it?
all right. Ezra, as you are guided by a aspect. Give me a second.
Mhm.
Ezra, as you look forward on the train, you see kind of like Paul, but it's not really Paul. It's a taller, more black figure that seems to just kind of be guiding and pointing you further up the track. Right up there. If you bend your head just right, especially with the movement, you can see it. And that's when you realize that the tunnel ahead is actually being crushed and pushed ahead by the locomotive itself, the tunnel being too small for the locomotive. But somehow it is churning and rocks crumbling and sand and dirt and just debris falling around it as it continues to just push by sheer force and crawl through this space, tunneling ahead in seemingly solid rock. Both of you that are outside the carriage now realizing that there is no space for you outside the safety of the carriage. You have to act quickly, especially to get Kona, who is on the top, in the safety of the carriage.
Naturally.
Okay. So we both realize that.
You
And
have a split second to act.
okay, jumping back into the train. He's literally jumping. So on a short side note, for Ezra, this merge between the Black Rider and Paul is something very naturally feeling now. Not only his voice is just the voice in his head, and also this figure he's seeing is just a natural merge between Paul and the Black Rider. He's not longer thinking about this transition between those two. And so he gets this warning, and then he just acts by jumping back into the train, trying to get out of harm's way. The split second is up. Sorry.
Ezra, as you
Weird.
pull back into the carriage, the rider, Paul, you hear him just making a sound in your voice.
Did y'all hear me? The stream didn't hear us for some reason. I don't know why. I just restarted my audio.
No, it was just you.
Oh.
That's all right.
Okay. But so the stream didn't hear what I was doing. I was trying to do a leap maneuver back into the train, basically, using a rope.
Okay.
Yeah. So they know what I'm doing.
Of course.
Hi, chat. What's up?
Yeah, we're back. I'm not sure
We
why
got
there's
huge
always
numbers
issues.
today. 8 viewers. What's up?
Yeah, we're moving up. But yeah, creepy crashes happening. I think there's ghosts in the machine tonight or today.
It is not being caused by me this time.
All right, we'll get the birthday gremlins, or well, for me it was birthday like a couple weeks ago. The Christmas gremlins out.
Mm-hmm.
All those devil's bargains, Mark, they add up. They
start
haunt your
over-
machinery.
They come into the real world, right? Okay. I'm not sure if there's any reason to me to roll unless you want me to roll. I would think it's something like a prowl or something physical.
Give me a fortune.
Oh,
Let's
prowl.
see how well you do it.
Come on, one, baby. Remember the
Right.
one.
So fortune I do with this button. Where is that button? Where'd you hide the fortune
I
button
bet
again?
Kona does a barrel.
It's under position.
Position.
Mm-hmm.
You're just doing. You're just clicking the action, and then you can enter fortune roll as a position.
That is nice. Okay. All right. So just a standard, no bonus. Boom. Hey. All right. It looks good.
No fun.
Boo! I got a 6. Dang.
You get back in the carriage, just literally your clothing just starts to sweep into the open doorway. As the door gets slammed and as it's getting closed by the tribe's people, dirt begins to fill in that space, some of it coming, the rocks and gravel and debris coming in the carriage where you were even just a split second ago.
Oh yeah.
No scratches.
Yeah,
no harm.
You actually see her hand slide across the floor and grab some of the gravel and then just like scoop it up into a pile, and then she like stands up kind of like gracefully and she just looks around at everyone. She's just like and lets it fall out of her hand.
At this point, Kona and Ezra, you will notice that narrow, their face, their skin shifted and changed. Monroe, after having this moment as the train, you hear the dirt and the scraping sound of earth being shifted and moved. The power of the Hellstone's pulsating energy within the train, suddenly surging as the train seems to shift even faster. The earth around it almost taking on a liquid aspect just around the train so it can move faster within the earth as it travels deeper. The entire carriage and everything shifting to become more of a steeper incline. Gathering yourself, Monroe, you realize this shift, this change with Nero. I've read something like this before. I wrote about this in my journal. And you flip back into the pages of your journal, trying to figure out where you happen to have seen it. The strange leather pouch that you recovered just 20, 30 minutes before, still nestled in the crook of your arm as you go searching through the wet diary, because you threw it into the birthing pool. Its pages slightly slicking and sticking together as you try to find the ink that is now becoming wet and slowly dissipating in some places. Trying to figure out where this was.
Okay, that sounds like a roll to me.
I would like you to make a fortune roll, please.
Great. Hey.
6. Very good.
Get him.
Yeah, we're rolling well today.
Another narrow miss, I guess.
Way to get the good crew today, not the crew that messes up and bumbles backwards.
There's several aspects that you begin to read, and it's kind of doing the whole red thread conspiracy theory within your own journal. There's one section that seems to mention mutations and give a list of several mutations that have been seen within the city.
As you do. You find out.
There's a few of them as well, specifically that have these very similar markings. Though those people always seem to vanish after a certain period of time. It's some traveling philosophers that have come in to help based on the sheriff doing his research, seem reading various books and studying what this could be. Several people called it the Wasp conspiracy. However, there's other mutations that have kind of come up, but these people never vanished. They stayed and lived within the town of Mudwater through their whole natural lives until something happened to them one way or another. They passed on, they died. These, with this particular marking, and based on what you have in your journal, there are several cataloged ones done by the local town physician. None of them have the same marking that Nero has upon their face. But they all have a connection, and that they had no family. Until discussing with them regarding this mutation, they said that they had a family and they were trying to return. But they never stated why they couldn't return. And at that point, you kind of you're trying to find that other section, and as you begin to read, the water and this slick ambiotic fluid that you threw your journal into has begun to permeate on that particular page, and the words, as it begins to say of what it particularly could be, slowly just fade off the page, and there's nothing left. The last words that you are able to read is that they're chosen. A child lost is now found. A child lost is now found. And that line repeats itself several times over. And it simply categorized or cataloged in your journal as something that the latest one said. A child will be lost and then found. Child will be lost and then found. And then nothing. Nero, as you are standing there, the train churning, your compatriots, your people here around you, yet you feel this moment of loss, this connection, this relation, this thread you didn't know existed, suddenly becoming thinner and thinner the further you get away. The shifting of your skin, the change, the almost scale-like patterning that goes across your skin. You can almost hear vibrations within your skull, a little bit of a rattling of bone, a memory from the mother of bones, as she said, the chosen one. Then that face is replaced by another, the queen, the mother. My child, save us. Then you're put back into that moment of reality. Monroe seeming to complain and be puzzled and perplexed as he looks at his diary and wiping the slime that supposedly he threw it into this birthing pod himself, rubbing it and wiping it off on his hands.
Yeah, I think Nero will. So Kona's like front flipped her way back into the carriage, right?
Yeah, she's dropping like some of the sand off the ground too, the like dirt or from the cave wall.
Yeah.
She's just like dropping that. You just see her doing that, and she just looks through it like at you, like as if triumphant.
Yeah, I think they will look at Kona and say, "Why did you kill her? She wasn't. She was my sister. Why did you kill her?"
She just kind of smiles big. She's like, "For you, of course." And then she kind of like drops the rest of the dirt, right? And you see this little plume of smoke come off of that, or whatever, dust. And then she just kind of like holds up the pistol, like, and it's a good thing we had these too. And she just looks at you, and she just kind of like gives you like a nudge, like she's just like, jovial. Yeah.
No reaction to the hornetness.
I mean,
Nero.
So that wasn't in her head. That we can see Nero turning into a hornet like before our eyes.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like that, the spin is like
they're a hornet. they're a hornet person.
Have you ever read the Roald Dahl short story called Royal Jelly, where like this dude is like becoming a bee? It's like that.
Oh, I'm thinking that's like about to burst out of you or something, maybe. But now I got it. All right, that's cool. Yeah, she's pretty freaked out by that. Yeah, she like while she's dropping the dirt, that's when she's just like she like reflexively just like points a gun at you, and then she's just kind of like turns her head sideways like and looks to the others like she's like crap, like her fingers on the trigger like ready to shoot you.
Yeah, I think, and you can definitely tell like. It is a very like straight line between Nero looking like a hornet and the hornet that you just killed, right? And I think Nero will, if you're kind of like pointing the gun at them, they will like look at the gun and then they will say, "Put that down now."
Yeah, like
that killed my sister.
It speaks. She hangs her mouth in shock as she hears your voice come out of its whatever insectoid face or whatever. Like she can't see your face anymore, right?
I think that would depend on how Nero would like the mutation to express itself. I don't know if Nero has mandibles or anything, or if it's simply a color skin pattern change.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
I'm kind of
good.
imagining this as like more the latter, right? It's like
Like we see
If
your
I
face, but there's
recall-
insectness in the skin.
yeah.
And like the
Yeah,
eyes
it's
have
like-
like the like fibrous thing on the front of the eyes and stuff.
Yeah, like they've got a bit of fuzz where there maybe should be hair, right? And like the skin is a bit mottled, like Sarah Kerrigan from StarCraft, right? Like she looks a little bit like a creepy insect, but she's mostly like person, right? Like I think they're kind of like that. And it's definitely, they're very unsettling, and they haven't seen themselves in the mirror, but even if they were to see themselves in the mirror, they wouldn't find that unsettling at all. For them, this is like, oh, I was always meant to be looking like this, right? This is who I really am.
Okay.
And yeah, I think they're gonna like they will look at you and they will say, "Put that down."
Kona is just gonna be. She's emotionally affected at this point when she realizes that you've been mutated. She thinks she's
Yeah.
I think there's like a pattern of dust across her skin that like we get a close up of, and you can see that like in the crack underneath here, there's like a bit of moisture starts to pool up right here. Right here in the corners of her eyes. And she's like, oh, and she kind of like, her face hardens, and you can see it kind of like, it pools up just a little bit right there, and then she like hardens up, and she's like, I think she says something along the lines of like, I think she looks over to Monroe. Yeah, she looks to Monroe, because I think in her people, it's like you have to like murder someone who you have to basically like ritually sacrifice them to save them. You know what I mean? Like that's the only way to save their soul. So for her, she's just like, we have to put her down. Is there any saving them? And she looks to Monroe.
I think Monroe is holding the journal in his left hand that's like sort of seeping, and he's just sort of holding himself, or no, just holding the book, and he just kind of looks, and not even directly to Kona, not really to anybody in particular, but all he says is, "The child lost is now found."
Oh, great. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
She starts spinning the chambers on her pistol and looking at it wistfully, like she's preparing to make a killing shot that she doesn't want to.
Yeah, no, I think that this may be PvP, but I think like they're gonna try and like command you. They're gonna try and be like, "You're gonna do what I say right now." You just murdered my sister, and this is the time, right? Like you either nut up or shut up.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do this as an opposing roll. Whoever rolls highest wins, or
Yeah,
whether
I mean, like,
whether Nero's roll is gonna be higher.
Well, so I want to pause to talk about that a little bit, because what I think he's saying is,
No, sure.
what I think what Tree you're saying is, you're saying, Mark, nut up.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and I'm into it. I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, like you're doing a risk that if you screw up, I'll shoot you, basically.
Yeah. No, I mean that sounds desperate to be clear. Like if you're gonna shoot, yeah, that sounds desperate.
Like maybe not like completely kill you, but incapacitate kind of shot.
No.
Maybe kill you.
Yeah.
Like shoot you in the brain, like the one up top. I don't know. It depends.
Yeah.
Like, do you do something that looks threatening while you do it? That could change her mind completely to where she's just like, "Oh crap, you've got bug power and you scared me." Because she is.
I mean, I don't think
she's never faced off with
that.
that. Yeah, I don't think she's faced off with that. But if you make it look good, she's gonna be like, "Oh crap, you could do the wasp song that mind controls you," and she's gonna like clasp her ears instead of taking a shot.
I think this is not especially bug-like except that it's obviously bug-like because they're a bug, or something. But I think it's more that like it is like pure conviction in their voice and in their face, where they're like, you have no choice, right? You're going to do exactly what I tell you. And even the idea that you could choose to do something different is not something we're entertaining.
Oh, this is like Nero's power coming through, like the speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Ooh, I
exactly.
like that. Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that could change her mind too, because she totally believes that you have this like powerful voice that will dominate people.
Yeah.
And she's gonna when she hears that, she's gonna like she's not even gonna clasp her ears. She's gonna be like she's gonna stop what she's doing and listen to you. I think so.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems good. Seems like a good action roll. I mean, I'll roll if you think that it's a chance I'll miss you.
Yeah, I mean, so I have 0 in command, but I will absolutely push myself here to give myself a die because, 1 die, right? And I think like the position effect here is actually, I guess, not that important because it's PvP.
Well, it's
so I'm
it's
just
up to
gonna
her.
say-
I mean, it could be important. Like, how bad do we think you get shot? Is basically what we're thinking. That's the risk.
I think, I'm happy to take any level of like harm here. So I think that's up to you.
I mean, she would try to. She would after hearing what Monroe said. It's like she's taken that as like a confirmation. I think she's just like, so it must be done. As she whispers
Right.
to herself as she slides the chambers into the pistol and goes to like take a shot, and then you do this before she can take the shot. So she's thinking she's gonna like heart shot you or something, you know.
Okay, yeah, that sounds desperate. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Desperate effect. I'm just going to put standard, not that it necessarily matters. I'll get 1 die for pushing myself. This would be a lovely 6.
Yeah, she's not gonna help you on this.
Oh,
Ah, it's a 6.
Wait,
it is.
what? Wait, what?
So
Whoa. Oh yeah, nice.
That's right.
There's no way that roll would have failed.
Yeah.
It had to come up 6s.
As Nero tells you this, Kona, you feel an overwhelming sense of responsibility to listen. It's not just Nero talking. There is a regal presence about Nero in this moment, and this command, this statement that is so blatantly, purely asked. It's almost as if a mother telling a child to stop misbehaving.
Have you ever seen Preacher? That show?
No.
Okay, so every time this guy used this like commanding voice magic, it would like have like 3 layers of sound effect, where it would be like high pitch, low pitch, and the original pitch of the guy's voice, and it sounded booming. You know, so
Yeah, I would definitely say that there's a little bit of that.
yeah.
Though nobody else spoke with the queen, it definitely has a little bit of that, her voice in it.
Yeah, I think that's how Kona perceived it, and it's like it shatters like like it creates a silence behind it, you know, with its effect, with its auditory, like a slapback effect and all that. And she just like stops for a moment and looks at you like fiercely, like she's her hands on the trigger, and you see it slowly like pull off. Right, as she's like trying to, and then she just like, and she just drops the pistol. I think.
Yeah. And I think they will. And this is a nice pistol, right? This is not the pistol they used to kill your brother. They will pick the pistol
No,
up.
she just used
and
it.
then they
She
will
just
look-
used it up above, so she still got that one. She's got the,
Yeah,
the
exactly,
one that
yeah.
used to kill your brother. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think so they're not gonna I think it's not the brother killing pistol. This is the nice one, which they will pick up, and then I think they will kind of haphazardly jam it into the bag, and then they'll look at you and say, "That is the weapon of a murderer. I'm gonna keep it." until you show me that I can trust you again.
Wow. Right now she doesn't trust you that much, so but she's kind of but when she heard the dominating voice, I think she just like you see her look down at the pistol, and then she looks at you kind of like sinisterly, like go ahead, take it if you want to, but it's going to be bad for you. And then as you put it in the bag, probably anyway, she's just like she relaxes a little bit, and I think in the back of her mind she like files that away as like she can't like she's used to being able to boss people around a little bit, but she realizes she can't do that when she's placed so much trust in you, even though you're in this weird insect form, you know. She like looks at you with pity. She actually looks at you with a little bit of pity, I think. She's just like, oh, it's complete. She might even say that. She's like, oh, it's getting deeper. And she like she shudders and then like turns away to like look away from the fact of when you take the pistol. And yeah, she looks at Monroe like, you see this look of like, crap, I'm gonna have to kill this kid like later or something, or deal with like, you can't tell if it's like a pain of having to like, crap, I'm like the kid's gonna make me do this, or if it's the pain of letting go of the pistol. And I think there's uncertainty right there in that moment where Kona's just like struggling with herself whether to let go of it or not, because she was almost ready to give it away to the shaman, but she didn't because the shaman made her feel like weird, and this makes her feel even weirder.
There's a bit of silence as this power struggle goes on in the carriage. Ezra and Monroe, you guys are just kind of standing back with the shaman and the tribe's people. They remaining surprisingly silent in this moment, as Nero and Kona have this, who is the alpha, especially with Nero's recent mutation. Ezra, you see the white rider and the black rider standing next to you. The white rider with the tribe's people. Everyone else seeing the shaman chief and his people. The black rider over on your left. And the red rider kind of sitting up on some pallets or something. And she kind of just leans forward a little bit and looks at you, Ezra. Ah. So their particular beliefs and drives are suddenly now shifting, no longer aligned. So it begins. Let's see if you can maintain it, or if you will go ahead and break asunder, each and every one of you. And with that, we're going to go ahead and go to our first break.
Oh. Nice.
Nice.
Well, cool. So stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back with more Fistful of Darkness.
See you guys in a few.